Hi, my name is Tim Griswold, and I'm the founder and executive director of the Foundation for Caregivers. The A-thon system is part of our mission to care for those who care for others. It is an online professional fundraising system that anyone, anywhere, can use to raise funds for any cause. It's simple to use, requires no downloads, and no computer expertise. The system is free for the cause to use. There's no upfront fee, no setup fee, no revenue sharing, no back-end fee. It's free. There's a lot to the system, so let me give you a few examples. Let's say there are 4 sorority sisters a few years out of college and scattered all over the world. Alice, who just happens to live in Alice Springs, of course, is the furthest, so let's start there. As it happens, there's a kangaroo sanctuary in Alice Springs. Now, Alice really likes this place, so she registers the sanctuary on A-thon.org. She then sets about to raise funds for the sanctuary. Alice could actually log in as the sanctuary and set up an A-thon, but I'm going to show you a slightly different approach, having Alice register and set up the A-thon under her own registration. The first step is for Alice to register. Incidentally, all registrations are free. Next, she would set up an A-thon to raise funds for the sanctuary. The system offers 10 different A-thon types. Alice appropriately chose a jump-a-thon, the challenge being to complete 1 skydive. But jump-a-thons, of course, could also be a jump rope-a-thon. To set up an A-thon, Alice will first need to purchase a 3-day pass. Now, you'll recall that I said the system is free to the cause, and it is. Unfortunately, when we ran the pilot, we discovered there are a lot of bad actors out there who will do anything to get their picture and rather unsavory messages on the front page of a website. To prevent this, we had to institute a simple 3-day pass. The cost of the pass is $3. This is not charged to the cause. This is charged to the users of the system, to those who set up A-thons and donate and those things that generate images and messages that go to the front page. There is a circumstance where the cause would actually have to purchase a 3-day pass if they chose to start the A-thon themselves. But of course, because it's a pass, they could start 6 or 8 or 10 A-thons if they wanted to during that pass period. So a $3 cost is the maximum expense to run an A-thon. Incidentally, the $3 fee is actually a donation to the Foundation for Caregivers. And since we are a 501c3, it is tax deductible if you pay taxes in the U.S. The duration clock is only visible to the logged-in user. It is a tool to help manage their pass. As you can see, there is space for a lot of information on the A-thon page. Don't let that frighten you. Most of the data is optional, and most can be added or modified after the A-thon is set up. Things like members who have joined are generated automatically by the system as people join the A-thon. The process isn't complicated. There are a few things I should point out. First, the A-thon is linked to the Kangaroo Sanctuary as a designated cause. The donations do not come to Alice, and they do not pass through the foundation. They go directly from the donor to the sanctuary using PayPal. There are no fees deducted other than PayPal takes its standard credit card processing fee. Next, as the A-thon author, Alice can add activities to this A-thon. Activities are things like meetings, events, and celebrations. I won't go into those here, but activities give Alice an easy tool to communicate with the A-thon participants. Alice and others can join the A-thon by clicking on the Join button. There's also an Invite button, so Alice can easily invite others to sponsor and to participate. Finally, you see a PDF link. This is only available to the A-thon author. The PDF lists the A-thon participants with their email addresses. However, participants have the option to withhold their contact information. In that case, the author will see their name and the information about how much money they raise, but they will see no email address. There are actually several ways to search for an A-thon or to browse through all A-thons, but for the simplest, let's start with the home page. The image here is static, but on the website the images are all on sliders, so you will see the most recent A-thons displayed in rotation. You can click on any one and go to that A-thon. Now that Alice has all this set up, she would start contacting her friends and get them to join or to sponsor her. However, there are only 25,000 people in Alice Springs, so it might be difficult to raise a lot of money for the sanctuary. Alice can sponsor herself, but because the A-thon project is completely online, her sisters can also sponsor Alice as easily as if they were local. But they can do more. And now you will begin to see some of the less obvious powers of the A-thon system. Liz lives in London. She could set up her own A-thon to help the sanctuary. She chose a walk-a-thon in Hyde Park. London is a much larger market, so Liz could raise a lot of money for the sanctuary. She would also make a lot of people aware of the kangaroo sanctuary half a world away. Carolyn lives in Charleston. She also registered and made pledges to both Alice and Liz in their A-thons, and she started the dance-a-thon, to Charleston, of course. Judy in Joplin has also been busy. She chose a golf-a-thon to raise funds for the sanctuary. Let's review. Alice and her friends have been able to raise funds on 3 continents. They have greatly increased the sanctuary's support network, and they now have global visibility. Anyone can start an A-thon on their behalf. As I said earlier, there are a number of search options to help people find the sanctuary, but the most powerful is a map that can be accessed from the bottom menu. Any user can click on the map and then explore the individual causes and access their profiles. Remember that all of this was done at no cost to the sanctuary. Our first example was on a global scale, but A-thons don't have to be global, and they don't even have to be for a nonprofit. In this case, a family could run a private weight loss A-thon to generate funds to send their parents on a cruise for their 50th anniversary. Here, a company is using the system as part of their company picnic, doing good while having fun. The system is very scalable. It can support thousands of participants, or a single veteran who wants to do a solo cross-country bike-a-thon down the Alcan Highway to raise funds for the Wounded Warrior Project. The A-thon system can do all that and a lot more. But I need to add a disclaimer here. The people and the A-thons are all fake. I just made those up. And while the organizations I mentioned are real, please do not interpret my using their names as an endorsement of the A-thon system or the Foundation for Caregivers. They have not been asked. At a-thon.org, you can register and use the full system. At ffcg.org, you can learn more about our work, but you can also make a donation so that we can continue to care for those who care for others.